Welcome back to Ancient Signals, that flickering, liminal space between what we know and what we aren't supposed to. For 50 years, the lie has held. Project Mogul. The official story, meticulously crafted by General Alistair Blackwood, cemented itself as history. Major Elias Thorne, the man who saw the truth, became a ghost, a fugitive living in the shadows, his warnings dismissed as conspiracy. The world moved on, accepting the comfortable fiction. But a lie, no matter how well constructed, is a heavy burden. It eats away at the soul.
Look at them,
and some men can't carry it to their graves.
Blissfully ignorant.
Decades
They have
after
no
Roswell,
idea what's
Elias Thorne
Thorne
receives a call,
speaking.
a ghost from his past, a voice he hasn't heard in half a century, now weak, trembling, but desperate. The voice of Walter Finch, the young, naive press officer from Roswell, the man who, in 1947, under orders, typed the fateful words, "flying disc." The call is a confession waiting to happen, and a desperate plea for absolution. Walter Finch is dying, and he refuses to die with a secret that has poisoned his life. He needs to tell someone. He needs to tell Thorne. But the machine that buried the truth, the network Blackwood built, is still listening, still vigilant even after 50 years. General Blackwood, now an old man clinging to the shadows of power, learns of the potential breach. Finch is talking. A loose end from 1947 is fraying. He gives a single, cold command. A cleaner, a new generation, perhaps, is dispatched. Not to recover evidence this time, but to ensure permanent silence before Finch can speak to anyone official. It's a race, a desperate race against time, against the relentless machine Blackwood commands, and against death itself. Elias Thorne, a man who has spent his entire life running from the consequences of Roswell, now races towards the heart of it one last time. He has to get the confession on tape. He has to get the final piece of the puzzle, the first-hand account that can shatter Blackwood's carefully constructed reality. He finds Walter Finch. This isn't the eager, slightly overwhelmed young lieutenant from 1947. This is a man haunted, consumed, broken by the weight of the secret he was forced to carry. He's terrified. Not just of death, but of dying before he can speak. He knows Blackwood's reach is long, his methods final. The cleaner has arrived. He's smooth, professional, locking down the floor, preventing access. Elias has only moments. He can't fight his way out. He needs a place to record, somewhere safe, somewhere unexpected. He makes a split-second decision. He gets Walter into a wheelchair, bypassing the cleaner by mere seconds, using his old fieldcraft. He pushes him through the labyrinthine service corridors of the hospital, an old soldier navigating enemy territory, one last mission. He knows he can't escape the building entirely, not with Walter in this condition. He just needs a few precious minutes of privacy, of safety. He takes Walter to the one place with no rooms to hide surveillance equipment, no easy way for the cleaner to approach unseen, the exposed, storm-lashed hospital rooftop. And there, surrounded by the raging storm, mirroring the storm that started it all 50 years ago, the silence finally breaks. Walter Finch, gasping for breath against the wind and his failing lungs, begins his final confession.
Lieutenant.
Walter recounts the beginning, the order from Colonel Blanchard, typing the flying disc release, the initial thrill, then the immediate, terrifying reversal. Being flown to Fort Worth himself, watching Thorne, a decorated officer, forced to participate in the humiliating weather balloon lie. Walter realized then that something was terribly wrong, but he didn't yet know how wrong. This is the final, devastating secret. The reason for Walter's 50 years of silence and guilt. He wasn't just a PR officer who made a mistake and was told to shut up. He was chosen by Blackwood. After the Fort Worth debacle, Blackwood didn't just reprimand him or reassign him immediately. He showed him. He took young Walter Finch deep into the secured hangar P3 and showed him the truth. The sleek, unearthly craft, damaged but largely intact, and the bodies. Not balloons, not dummies, beings. This, Blackwood threatened, searing the image into Walter's soul, is what you will protect with your silence, Lieutenant. This is the secret that will destroy you, and potentially this country, if you ever speak a word. Blackwood wasn't just giving an order, he was creating a hostage. Blackwood's genius was diabolical. He didn't just silence Walter, he implicated him. He made him a knowing participant in the subsequent, more sophisticated cover-ups, like Project Mogul. Walter Finch lived his entire life trapped, a hostage to the horrific truth he was forced to witness, and then help conceal. The burden crushed him. Elias finally understands the full picture, the calculated cruelty, the absolute control Blackwood exerted. Just as the confession reaches its climax, the cleaner finds them. But Walter stops Elias. The confession is the weapon now, not the gun. As the cleaner bursts onto the roof, Walter Finch finishes his testimony, recorded, preserved. Miles away, Blackwood gets the call. His agent has failed. The confession is captured. After 50 years, the fortress has been breached, not by armies or spies, but by the conscience of one dying man. A secret is only as strong as the silence of the men who keep it. For 50 long years, the official story held. Project Mogul, crash test dummies. They explained everything away, burying the truth under layers of classification and ridicule. But they could not explain this. A deathbed confession. The final, irrefutable testimony of a man who was there. A man forced into complicity. A man finally reclaiming his voice in the face of death. Here's my perspective. This is the key. This confession, corroborated by the physical evidence Elias Thorne still possesses, is the bullet that finally kills the decades-long cover-up. Walter Finch's testimony confirms unequivocally that the military knew about the bodies from the beginning. They knew about the ship. The entire sophisticated edifice of Project Mogul and subsequent explanations wasn't just a lie. It was a desperate, elaborate construction project built after the fact to hide an existential truth they couldn't control or comprehend. What do you think? Is a deathbed confession, especially one detailing such specific events, the most powerful form of evidence we can hope for in a case like Roswell? What would you do now if you held that tape? The war for the truth, fought in shadows for 50 years, is over. Now, the war for history, for acknowledgement, begins. Let me know your thoughts on the power and validity of this confession in the comments below. If you want to follow this investigation to its final conclusion, if you want to keep deciphering these ancient signals with us, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. The secret is out. In our final episode, the world finds out, and we confront the Roswell legacy.